is going to be on that roam roll, Paquito on that EXP, and this is going to be most likely an Akai jungle as well, right?
Yep.
Trying to zone away the Atlas as much as possible, just not getting the Fatal Links off. That would be a good avenue of gameplay as well. Now, going for the Gourd.
Yep, Gourd is a very good answer considering that we are looking at a tank jungle this time, back onto Fredrin, melts down the Fredrin and the Atlas very effectively. As such, right now, they don't, for Team Malaysia, they don't have a very good, early game to mid-game kind of transition. So picking up a Sora does kind of double down for them in the late stage durability. And at least in the early stage, Sora will be able to come in and support with quite a lot of these damage. However, if we want to kind of look in a durability matchup, Team Malaysia has it. Well, in terms of damage department, Team Philippines definitely have it.
Yeah, definitely for both sides, the drafts look extremely square here, right? 50-50 in terms of just having that late game presence with the Claude, but in terms of that team fight pickoffs, it's for Team Philippines, it's going to be looking better on winning the lanes.
Yep.
Meanwhile, for Team Malaysia, it's about winning the team fights. And you can see the signatures of each server coming in out, right? Rearing its ugly head here as we head on into game number 1 of this banger of a series, Team Philippines versus Team Malaysia.
I'm so excited to see what is gonna come in for us. And we jump right into the land of Dawn. And of course, this is the brand new rotation that we were talking about. By the time that they are done with their respective Beetle and their respective Lizard, they will go straight to level 2 as per what the patch note says. So by the time that they reach over to the buffs, that is when they are generally gonna have a pretty much faster time to clear off, especially for the purple buff, because it is 2 minions right there.
Yeah, and that gives you also a brief buffer of timing to go for the lethal here, and already we see Team Malaysia on the case, forcing the flicker away from the side of De La Cruz, who will not have it for the next few skirmishes.
And just like that, Akai manages to snatch away that Little Wanderer in a quick little moment, and he's trying to look for some other avenues to play around with. And they also understood what is going to be the rotation coming in from Team Malaysia. So just like that, stole yet another one coming in from Team Malaysia. The jungling side from Team Malaysia is just not having a really good time at all.
Yeah, forcing out that retribution early, and Azan not having it at that period of time would just mean that Nepomuceno, right now, he would be way ahead in terms of that curve as well. In terms of that buff clear speed, into that objective clear speed, slightly ahead, but both teams, in terms of net worth, still neck and neck, nobody giving up first blood just as of yet. And we know Team Philippines, at this point, if they don't find a team fight that suits them, they're not going to take it.
It's really unfortunate that Team Malaysia, in the early stages of the game, they don't have enough firepower to realistically be able to kind of push any of the members from Team Philippines away far enough. Like, Nepomuceno can just literally walk in, which is why he was able to kind of steal that jungle creep away from the Fredrin in this case. Time and time again, this is going to repeat as long as Team Malaysia do not find a way to kind of get themselves a decent snowball. As Nepomuceno is already at level 5, as opposed to Nazan at level 4. There's no way that they will be able to fight for this. Aki finds himself taken down, Vinuya as well. So it's a 1-for-1 trade. Unfortunately, it is going to go towards the side of Malaysia a little bit more.
Yeah, but Razif does get the better of Vinuya in that EXP lane, taking out the Paquito, trying to go for that over-aggression with that flicker usage coming out from the side of Vinuya as well. So, gotta say, in the grand scheme of things, yeah, does still favor Team Philippines because they got the turtle. They got a very good usage of that heavy spin in that early game as well. You don't really see that often coming out because the team fights will be kind of avoided till that heavy spin is out.
Most of the members coming from side of Team Philippines, they're looking for something. Amar opens up the RWM, but unfortunately would not be enough to keep the Atlas alive. As such, Akif loses his life while De La Cruz just going to be putting himself right in the face of Nazan. This is not going to be an easy take for Team Malaysia, and in fact, there could be a very high probability that they might just lose this orange buff.
Yeah, and we do see a lot of the jungle prio come through for the side of both teams here. Nepomuceno, he's not going to be in a lot of trouble. He's an Akai after all, but still getting chased out with Appraisal's Wrath here.
Uh-oh, never mind. With a heavy spin, he will be able to just kind of buff everyone away. He should be safe for now, unless De La Cruz do something about this. Double flicker just for a kill down onto Nepomuceno. He is is a level 7 though, so in the end of things, it's a worth it one.
Yeah, it's Carl, man. You got to do that. And with the Mystic Gush coming through, they have been putting on the hate onto Akeem. And this is what you need to do against an Atlas, right? Trying to bring him down as early as possible. Make sure that he does not have the availability of the space to make sure that you cannot get the Fatal Links off. And once you keep threatening his HP, Akeem, he cannot go in freely. And that's why Atlas dropped off in popularity so far. And with Nazan unable to frontline for now, Team Philippines are playing it very perfectly when it comes down to the space control.
Once again, at least in the early stages of the game, we really need the power of Amar to really just pop up as the Eve. Akeem and Nazan can always set up for the team, but if we don't have Amar or Razif to come in to make full use of the space given and that opportunity brought up by either the Fatal Links or the or anything else, then it's not going to go anywhere. At this point in time, we do have Team Malaysia. They're just going to be wrapping themselves right in the hands of Team Philippines. Well, in the meantime, it is going to be quite a lot of spinning going on downtown for Team Philippines. It's a 1-for-4 trade, and it is an absolutely free turtle for the side of Team Philippines.
Pivotal wipe coming in from the side of Team Philippines. Great use of the heavy spin. Managed to find two members of Team Malaysia pinned up against the wall. Akeem being taken out very early. Despite the usage of the Fatal Links, there's no damage coming through from the side of Team Malaysia at this point, right? If Razif is not able to land the Shifting Skies, this is what's going to happen. And that is a huge damage buff coming out from the side of Vinuya at this point.
It's really unfortunate, but Team Malaysia, they do not have got what it takes to realistically, I mentioned before, to kind of push the members of Team Philippines away. They are tanky, but Amar, I don't think that he's got much damage for himself. While in the meantime, his opposite side, Papico, he's got so much out of his Mystic Gush. He may have used it already, so Team Malaysia, they're not too afraid of re-engaging.
Yeah, and the damage tools coming out from the side of Team Malaysia. In that early game, it's really one-sided onto that Sora alone, right? Amar, he's not going to have the damage. Ilton, he's not going to have the damage on the Claude as well. Blazing Duet with a Demon Hunter sword. At this stage of the game, it's not enough. Meanwhile, that Paquito, he does have that level advantage on that EXP lane. He's able to deal that damage with just one item alone.
Just like that, 6 minutes into this game, and we are already looking at a 5,000 gold lead in favor for Team Philippines. Team Malaysia, let's take a look at things, right? Or what exactly is going to allow them to get themselves out of this difficult spot?
They need a great Shifting Sky from the side of Razif, right? And he's not able to get it because look at where Vinuya is playing, right? Consistently making sure that Shifting Skies is wasted on him as a solo target. And once Shifting Skies is gone, well, they can take the space as they wish. And Team Philippines, they know that. They know that. That's why they're just playing for the Sora to use his utility. Because the rest of the other team members, they don't have the damage. Fatal Links into what?
That is realistically just playing around Razif as much as possible. Make him waste up a little bit and make him make sure that he's unable to get decent amount of farm to kind of stay alive for extended periods of time. Team Malaysia, they want to group up as much as possible. However, they still have to be really careful because a lot of these damage dealers from the side of Team Philippines, they can do quite a number, especially for the side of Mystic Gush. You don't want to get together, get hit by the same starting ball from the side of that gold as much as possible too.
And once again, that pressure mounts up as we see Razif get taken out early in the start of the fight. Fatal Links is not going to be used at all. Flicker away. And without the Shifting Skies, right, you see the lack of initiation coming out from inside of Team Malaysia. And they needed that early game advantage, hoping that the Sora and also the Fredrin are able to buy them the space for Claude. And this is the problem with Claude so far, where teams have not been able to make it work.
Yep, he's constantly going to be behind and he needs time to eventually skill. The moment that your team is unable to, you know, kind of be on par with your opponents from the start of the game, then there is no space for the Claude to farm. Nowhere for you to even just BMI in, Blazing Duet and get out of it. There is no form of passive farming for the side of Claude. So it's really going to be difficult, and at this point in time, the only time where Ilton will be able to kind of pop off is probably down the line 10 minutes later.
Yeah, 8,000 gold lead already at 8 minutes into the game here. That's going to be a heavy-handed advantage for the side of Team Philippines. And if you take a look at the problem here, right? The main problem is the Akai, the Nepomuceno man that can just walk up straight to you, just spin away, and there's nothing you can do about it because there's the lack of damage coming through. Are you going to Shifting Skies someone who can potentially spin out of your ultimate, a huge ultimate for just a heavy spin? And I believe Team Philippines at this point, they've been threatening that trade ever since they knew that there's only one way. And look at this, once again, Nepomuceno straight away in front, no punish at all.
I mean, Team Malaysia, they are trying. They're really trying to punish. Of course, they do not want to use up every single one of the resource because of the fact that the Lord is going to be popping out in under 5 seconds. However, even if the Lord does appear, Nazan is only at level 9 as compared to Nepomuceno at level 13. There's just no space in between for Nazan to kind of squeeze himself in to just land that free retribution. The retribution fight and the quality of retribution from Nazan is just completely low and cannot be countered or cannot be, used to fight.
Yeah, Team Malaysia, they did have the correct idea, right? Early game, Raziv did get that early game advantage. Now, De La Cruz in a bit of stifle here, but he isn't Cho after all. Still has to flicker away, and he's one tanky boy as he goes back into the real-world manipulation here.
He's eating up everything, and in the end, he took 4 ultimates in his face only for him to die. But unfortunately, after all of that, it is just a Roma trading out against an XP laner, which is a massive trade-off for the side of Philippines.
Yeah, still pushing the advantage inside of Team Philippines. The macro lead grows as they do get the Lord. They will get this tier 2 turret as well. And that's the point, right? For the side of Team Philippines, they know that they don't want to go into that late game as much as possible, especially against a Claude. Claude versus Harif in that late game scenario, it's not someplace you want to be as the Harif. That's why they have Vinuya consistently threatening the opposite side of the map. And if Ilton does make a misstep here, he can potentially get shut down out of the map.
And the heavy spin is just going to be wreaking havoc onto Akib. He's stuck in the walls and unable to do anything. Well, De La Cruz is looking for an opportunity, trying to go for a king on the Raziv, but unfortunately that doesn't seem like they will be able to do anything at this point in time, as now they're just going to wreaking havoc throughout the entire map. The Lord is still alive though. The entirety of Team Philippines, they will do what they can. Amar opens up the RWM only to get kicked and punched right in the face, and Team Philippines completely takes this all the way from downtown Malaysia. Unfortunately loses game number 1.
A complete wipeout coming in from the side.